Scotland, 2025. When torrential winter rain causes a landslide on a motorway, it dislodges more than mud and asphalt. It reveals a skeleton, concealed when the road was built 11 years prior. Sam Nimmo, an investigative journalist who'd been poking his nose into the murky politics of the Scottish independence referendum, had become the prime suspect in the brutal murder of his girlfriend when he vanished. Now he's reappeared, buried under the motorway. It's the perfect cold case for DCI Karen Peary, Chief of Police Scotland's Historic Cases Unit. What was Nimmo investigating that was worth killing over? Or was it revenge for murdering his girlfriend? Meanwhile, an allegation of murder has surfaced over the supposedly accidental death of a hotel manager. It may have links to another accident on a remote Highland road. It's a series of puzzles that tests Karen and her team to their limits, and possibly beyond.
Hawkins, Indiana, is in recovery. It's been 2 months since Vecna's earthquake tore through the town, and its residents are still reeling from the devastation. Nancy Wheeler has spent every waking minute on the hunt for Vecna, but he's continued to elude her. How can she head to Emerson for college in the fall if Hawkins is still under the influence of the Upside Down? When fellow classmate Joey Taft starts acting shifty at graduation, Nancy is convinced Vecna's found his newest victim. Joined by fellow amateur sleuth Robin Buckley, Nancy doesn't waste any time questioning Joey. What the girls discover leads them down the path of a bigger story than the Hawkins Post could ever have assigned Nancy. Why are people around town suddenly getting sick? Why is there a strange man tailing Nancy as she investigates? And most important, does this even have anything to do with the Upside Down? Together with Robin, Nancy embarks on a dangerous quest for the truth. The deeper the two dig, the further Nancy finds herself drawn into a web of intrigue that threatens to trap her in Hawkins forever.
In this fiercely captivating novel, horror meets historical fiction when a curse bridges generations, binding the fates of 3 women. Anne Bolton, a healer facing persecution for witchcraft, bargains with a dark entity for protection, but the fire she unleashes will reverberate for centuries. Mary Shepherd, a picture-perfect wife in a suffocating community, falls for Sharon and begins a forbidden affair that could destroy them both. And Camilla Burson, the rebellious daughter of a preacher, defies conformist expectations to uncover an ancient power as her father's flock spirals into crisis. 3 women, 3 centuries, 1 legacy of fury, love, and a power that refuses to die.
The medical profession's faith in electric shock therapies for treating female nervous conditions is shaken after a patient dies while connected to one such device. Harry Armitage is hired by the doctor arrested for her murder, and he invites Cleo to help him uncover the truth. After all, the doctor is the same one who tried and failed to treat Cleo's aunt. As they dig deeper, it becomes apparent the doctor has failed other patients too, and those patients' loved ones want revenge. Did that desire for revenge lead to the death of an innocent patient? Or did the victim have enemies of her own? As Cleo and Harry unravel the multi-layered mystery, they realize not everyone is who they seem. Suspects are hiding secrets that, if exposed, could shatter reputations and relationships. Meanwhile, the manufacturer of a popular but highly addictive medicine has booked the Mayfair Hotel for a major presentation to important clients. As the day of the event looms, Cleo and Harry learn of a plot to sabotage it. Can they solve the mystery and save the presentation? Or will it be ruined? And will someone get away with murder?
Teresa Gallagher has never met her Aunt Dottie, though she remembers her mother's stories about the wild sister who left home at 17. When a letter arrives from one of Dottie's neighbours, telling Teresa that her aunt is now incapacitated and in a nursing home, Teresa decides to fly out to Arizona to see her. The staff at the Sunnydale Care Facility seem pleasant and efficient, but Teresa finds it strange that she's only permitted to observe her elderly aunt from a viewing room. It's the first of several red flags that lead Teresa to start asking questions. Is it just coincidence that as soon as she does, her car is almost run off the road? Teresa contacts her attorney friend, Lizzie Fox, who just happens to be connected to a group of women uniquely posed to get answers. Soon the sisterhood is on the case, uncovering evidence that at Sunnydale centres all over the country, seniors are mistreated, duped, and drained of their savings. But no one is beyond justice. Not when the sisterhood's extraordinary women are involved, making wrongs right as only they can. Being shunned by society gives Charlotte Holmes the time and freedom to put her extraordinary powers of deduction to good use. As Sherlock Holmes consulting detective, aided by the capable Mrs. Watson, she's had great success helping with all manner of inquiries, but she's not prepared for the new client who arrives at her Upper Baker Street office. Lady Ingram, wife of Charlotte's dear friend and benefactor, wants Sherlock Holmes to find her first love, who failed to show up at their annual rendezvous. Matters of loyalty and discretion aside, the case becomes even more personal for Charlotte, as the missing man is none other than Myron Finch, her illegitimate half-brother. In the meanwhile, Charlotte wrestles with a surprising proposal of marriage, a mysterious stranger woos her sister Livia, and an unidentified body surfaces where least expected. Charlotte's investigative prowess is challenged as never before. Can she find her brother in time? Or will he too end up as a nameless corpse somewhere in the belly of London?
The Sky Thieves went dark. Now, an unseen enemy wants them back in the spotlight. After dismantling their biggest rival, the Sky Thieves scattered, each hoping to disappear. But when a surveillance drone tracks Blair Morgan and her husband Sterling to a secluded beach in the Maldives, their quiet escape turns into a high-speed getaway. Back in the US, their crewmates Alec and Marco are blindsided, framed for a series of high-tech heists they didn't commit. Someone with unlimited resources is pulling the strings, turning elite thieves into fugitives. Desperate and determined, the Sky Thieves reunite and begin their search for answers. Someone has them backed into a corner, and they want to know who. With time running out and their reputations to clear, the Sky Thieves must pull off the ultimate con, a high-stakes infiltration against impossible odds. But as they crack impenetrable security, dodge ruthless enforcers, and outmaneuver federal agents, Blair faces an even greater threat, an old enemy with unfinished business.
Sammy Sykes is evading the law and justice. Niels is on a mission to hunt down Sammy Sykes, the drug kingpin responsible for the ambush that led to his wife's death 2 years ago. Despite the efforts of local law enforcement and the FBI, Sammy is still on the loose. It's time for Niels to take the law into his own hands. A trip to see Sammy's daughter in prison gives him a lead that's impossible to ignore. Resuming his life as a private investigator, Niels goes deep undercover. Fueled by revenge and a deep sense of justice, Niels' pursuit of Sammy takes him all the way from Minnesota to Europe, where his survival skills and resolve are put to the ultimate test.
Trust is everything to me. It has to be, with a past like mine. So when my fiancé lies straight to my face, it's like I can't breathe. He claims he barely knows Laura Blackwell. Then why has she sent him a copy of her novel with a chilling inscription? "You'll never get rid of me." His face tells me everything. It's like he's seen a ghost. Suddenly, our beautiful home feels like a cage. When I'm alone, I can feel someone watching me through our floor-to-ceiling windows. Is it Laura? Or someone else from his past? All I know is my fiancé is desperate to hide the truth, and his secrets could tear our lives apart.
She quit drinking the day her mother died. Now she has to stay sober long enough to prove it wasn't an accident. Former detective Harper Adams is only days into sobriety when she realizes her mother's car accident wasn't an accident at all. The faded skid marks on the bridge, the drugs in her tox screen, the packed suitcase in the trunk, for a trip her homebody mother never mentioned. Something sinister happened, and Harper is determined to uncover the truth. To do that, she accepts the assistance of the last man she should trust, James Malcolm, a crime boss with a shadowy past. He insists he's only trying to help. Harper isn't sure whether his offer is about justice or something else entirely, but she decides it's safer to work with the devil, you know. Malcolm gets results, and results are what she needs. As Harper digs deeper, she unearths secrets powerful people want to keep buried, and the closer she gets to the truth, the more dangerous it becomes.
A cabin in the woods. 3 dead, 1 in critical condition. Property owned by not just any Tennessee local, but one of the richest men in the country. Vera Boyette isn't quite sure what it means, but that's why Sheriff Gray Bent Benton called her, to figure it out. Criminal analysis is what she does best, even when the town is in panicked shambles, even when the case is more delicate than most, and even when it's not the only case on her plate. Vera's family is caught in a deadly mess of its own, and while her pregnant sister seems an unlikely culprit, each new detail seems to point to her guilt. Desperate to protect her, Vera vows to find out what really happened. As evidence emerges in both cases, Vera and Bent work to unravel a dangerous web of secrets to get to the truth, but their investigations reveal more than they ever expected.
When 26-year-old artist Cassidy Jameson vanishes from the fog-bound town of Harbor's End, Maine, a pool of blood at the old boathouse is the only clue left behind. With no body and no answers, the story is ripe for speculation and exploitation. Enter Whispers in the Dark, a true crime podcast desperate to build an audience. Host Amelia Walsh sees Cassidy's case as her ticket to the big time, a missing girl, a picturesque town, and just enough darkness to go viral. But as Amelia leans into dramatization to boost downloads, the story starts to slip from her control. Because someone is listening. A serial killer named Dropped on the show emerges from the shadows, drawn to the spotlight, and with a taste for both headlines and blood, he may very well make Harbor's End his new hunting ground. It is possible that the price of fame may be more than anyone wants to pay. Now, as the lines blur between storyteller and subject, the hunt for Cassidy collides with a new wave of terror. The podcast wanted a story. What they got was a nightmare.
Being out of town with a musical can be murder. October 3rd, 1959, Rodgers and Hammerstein's latest musical, The Sound of Music, starring Mary Martin, has just had its world premiere in New Haven, the first stop on its road to Broadway. But for one member of the company, it will prove to be the final performance. The following morning, the lifeless body of beautiful newcomer Eva Rossi, Mary Martin's understudy, is discovered in a bizarrely appointed hotel room. Beneath a wall defaced with a bloody inscription, "How do you solve a problem like Maria?" As the case gets stranger, assistant stage manager Lee Solomon finds himself cast in the role of company sleuth. Forced to play go-between for producers, police, and the mercurial star and her controlling husband, Lee soon finds he has a natural talent for detection. But can he uncover the culprit or culprits before anyone else dies?
A young couple dead. A haunting echo of one boy's darkest day. A detective who can't walk away, even if it costs him everything. Detective Jake Cashin is called to a quiet cul-de-sac on the edge of Blackhand Hills, where a teenage girl has discovered the victims of a brutal murder-suicide. Newlyweds, shot in their own home. It looks open and shut, but something about the scene feels wrong, and Jake can't shake the eerie parallels to his past. The case dredges up memories of his own parents' deaths under the same circumstances. His father snapped. His mother paid with her life. End of story. But as Jake digs deeper into the present-day investigation, he finds unsettling threads that lead straight to the tragedy that defined his childhood. And when he pulls the long-buried file from his parents' case, he discovers details no one ever told him. Details that make him question everything. Jake's relentless search for the truth in both cases puts him at odds with his boss, his new partner, and the only family he has left. But someone out there knows the real story, and they'll kill to keep it buried.
Emily dropped the coffee cup she was holding, watching it shatter on the kitchen floor. On television, a woman nervously introduced herself as Danica Hansen, the girl Emily used to be. When Special Agent Emily Ray is assigned to verify the identity of Kaveri Miller Brown, a missing heiress who's reappeared after 18 years, it should be routine. DNA proves identity. Case closed. But then Emily discovers another found woman claiming to be Danica Hansen, a name buried in Emily's past. As Emily investigates the retired detective who miraculously found both missing women, a former Brown family servant dies mysteriously in her care facility, and a young woman who knew Kaveri vanishes from a desert town. With each death, Emily realizes she's not just investigating fraud, she's uncovered a web of corruption that reaches the highest levels of power. Emily Ray knows exactly what happened to the real Danica Hansen. She knows because she's been living that girl's secret every day since she was 15. But now, someone has plucked a forgotten girl from obscurity and given her Emily's discarded identity, and Emily faces an impossible choice. Expose the conspiracy and risk revealing the secret that could destroy everything she's built, or stay silent while innocent lives hang in the balance.